Tuesday, October the 7th, 2025, number 4848 is called Written While on an Incredibly Anxiety-Ridden Call with Customer Service. Does it even matter with whom? It should matter. That's with someone I've forked over thousands of dollars in many decades, and yet since May I've been blocked from receiving normal services. I have had an old acquaintance, a local one, who worked for them as an attorney for several years, and given that I've been so clearly upset and wronged by the way that they've treated me since this bizarre suspension for violating a rule that I don't know how exactly or when or whether it was even me, probably not, I can't imagine it being, or whether I'm just simply being given the runaround. Yesterday was a practically productive day in which my mood stayed where it needed to be to accomplish much under really poor circumstances. Those being most financially, something that continues to really bring me down, given that I have 30 years of experience in a well-paying career, in which I found it impossible to get a full-time permanent position in far too long, causing my quality of life to greatly decrease. Mostly because I was kicked to the curb by someone I trusted for around a dozen years as a domestic partner. Maybe all of this is neither here nor there, but this is just to say that I have completed 2 very anxiety-riddled calls with people with whom I have a monthly paid account, or whatever. I have more calls to make soon. I've got a therapy call at 1, and at 1:30 I have my quarterly CalFresh call, and I have to speak with my immigration attorney at some point today, which, well, if you happen to know where I live and at what moment this is in history, and the fact that I'm trying to get a 5-year fiancé to the States to be with me so that I can be together and he can go to school here, and I'm broke. And it will be at least a year before he is here once I'm able to turn in the finance visa application, if I can afford the $700 plus $400 attorney fee. Oh, I sound a mess. But when one is a mess, one does sound a mess. Anxiety has gotten the best of me this morning, but I think I can correct that, and I must. There's too much to do. There is way too much to do. For example, how can I salvage these silly and frustrating words into any kind of thing I call a poem? Well, voila, you're a poem. So be it. There's solved that problem. Of course I didn't, and for that I really apologize. I had a bit of an arc of a storytelling going. That story mine came to an abrupt halt, and for that I do apologize once again. Am I an artist, or just a guy trying to make a life for myself in a world that seems to be losing me with each breath I try to inhale? Oh, this cannot be salvaged. Let it be called notes, which is at times a fine way to display out a piece of what one might call a poem. I try at least to convince myself. Onward, apologies. Hello. Also called unhinged is terribly unflattering and not very much of an art form.